If you're thinking about starting an Etsy shop and you don't know where to begin, or you're worried that you'll mess something up along the way, don't worry. I have gone through the process myself, actually twice, and in this video I'm gonna walk you through the full setup roadmap, showing you step by step so that you can see exactly what to expect before you pay the one-time setup fee Etsy now requires. When I opened my first Etsy shop, I didn't have to pay anything. That was in 2023. When I opened my second shop in 2024, that was the time that I had to pay the setup fee. But at that time, if I remember correctly, it was more of like selective. Some users or some new shop didn't have to pay a setup fee, but I guess now everybody, as long as you open a new shop, you're gonna have to pay the one-time setup fee. So whether you're planning to sell digital products or just exploring the idea, this guide will help you get started with more clarity and less overwhelm. Step number one, before we even go to Etsy, the one thing that you must have ready is a product that you can list, because you can't actually finish opening a shop without a product to list. So that means you should have a clear idea of what you're selling. It does not have to be perfect, but try to focus on just one digital product or one niche. For example, like me, I started with clip arts and then slowly expanded the niches that I cover, because having a niche or choosing a specific niche when you're just starting helps your shop feel more intentional and also helps the buyers know what to expect when they visit your shop. Step number two, prepare your assets. So this time you can create your logo, your banner, and think about your shop name. Now, the one thing that I don't want you to do on this step is get caught up with designing your logo and your banner, because you can change those anytime. What you can do right now is just create a simple and cohesive logo and banner so that you don't get stuck on this step. When coming up with a shop name, I highly suggest to come up with at least 3 to 5 unique names. Why? Because sometimes you might think that a name is unique, but once you enter it on Etsy, it's not available because someone's already using it. That happened to me too, and I was very disappointed, and I had to frantically think of another name. At least when you have a list of other names, it's the names that you really like and that you would consider as a name for your shop. Just keep in mind though that each name should only be between 4 to 20 characters. Step 3, it's time to go to Etsy and create a shop. Alright, so before you can open an Etsy shop, you need to have an Etsy account, and if you don't know how to do that, I can quickly show you how to do that. So you need to go to etsy.com, and once you're there, right beside the search bar on the right side, there's a sign in button. You click on that and a window will pop up. On the upper right, there's a register button. You click on that, a window will pop up again, and you can manually enter your email, your first name, your password, or you can choose to register using your Google account, Facebook, or Apple. If you decided to continue with your Google account, I would highly suggest for you to create a separate email for your Etsy shop, because once you start making sales, Etsy will send those information to you and it can get flooded quickly. And also sometimes Etsy like to send important information and you don't want to mix it with your personal emails. It just really helps. I mean, if it's up to you if you want to create a separate email. Once you're done registering and you have signed in, Etsy will take you directly to your home page. To start the process of opening your Etsy shop from your Etsy homepage, you need to click on this button that looks like a house, but when you hover your mouse, it should say Shop Manager. So you click on that, it should take you to the welcome page. This is the welcome page, and if you notice, there are 4 points there that are being highlighted, and what essentially is this page telling you is that Etsy is going to guide you through the process of opening your shop. And once you've made your understanding about this, again, they're talking about the setup fee. For me, it says Canadian dollars, but it is 19 US dollars. Once you've read this page, you click let's do this, and it will take you to the next page. Now, this page is Etsy asking you what are you doing here on Etsy so that they can help you better or guide you better. So the first option says, I'm curious about selling on Etsy, but I don't know what I'd like to sell yet. Option 2, I have items that I design, make, or collect, and I want to sell them for the first time. Option 3, I currently sell my items somewhere else and want to sell them on Etsy too. And option 4, I already have an Etsy shop and want to open a new one. So because let's just say I'm a newbie, total newbie, I already have a product, so I'm gonna select option 2. I have items that I design, make, or collect, and I want to sell them for the first time. Once you've made your selection, you just click next and it will take you to this page that says, now time for the fun part. We'll walk you through creating your shop and filling it with items. So you click start shop and it will take you to this page where, if you look at the top here, these are the things that you need to go through in order to open your shop. So it starts with shop preferences. Under this section, there's choosing your shop language, shop country, and shop currency. If you look at on the right side here, there are tiny notes that are basically talking about each of the section or category here. So for language, it says whatever language that you choose here is going to be the default language that you'll use to describe your items. And I didn't know this. Apparently, you need to choose carefully because you can't change it, but you can add other languages later. I don't know how to do that. For my current shop, for my current second Etsy shop, I chose English because English is my second language. After that, you need to pick your shop country. So where are you based? Canada? Are you from USA? Are you from the UK? Are you from India? For shop currency, it's best to use whatever is the currency of your country. Like mine, I chose Canadian dollar. Apparently, you can choose a different currency here. However, you're gonna have trouble with, or when it comes to like the conversion, I would rather be safe than having to deal with those problems or issues later on. I would suggest to just choose the currency of your country. Once you're done with that, you click save and continue, and it is time to name your shop. If you can read here, it says don't sweat it. You can just draft the name now and change it later. That is true. You can always change your name. However, there's a point there that you're gonna have to end up talking to Etsy about changing your name. I have tried changing my first Etsy shop's name, maybe third time, and I was still able to do it by myself without having to talk to Etsy to change it. So I don't know the limit or when you have to talk to Etsy to change your name, but yes, you can change your name anytime. Now, Etsy is also giving you ways of, how you can name your shop. But again, since I've already told you to come up with 3 to 5 different unique names for a shop, you don't really have to worry about that part. Here on the search bar, this is basically like a search bar because once you enter your name, it will tell you, or Etsy will tell you if someone's already taken the name. So it says here also below the search bar, between 4 to 20 characters, no special characters, spaces, or accented letters. This is what it would look like if someone's already taken a name. For example, this one, it says Creative Digital. It says there, looks like Creative Digital is already taken. When that happens, Etsy does recommend you other or like alternatives to that names. Like, say for example, Creative by Denny, Digital by Denny, and this is what it would look like if the name is available. So it would say, great thinking, this name's available. After that, if Etsy already said like, okay, this is available, you can save and continue. After saving your shop name, you will then be taken to this page where you need to start uploading your product. Category, since I have a clipart, I'm gonna type in clipart and click on clipart and image files. Then it is a digital file, so I'm gonna click digital files. Who made it? I did. What is it? Is it a finished product or a supply or to make things? I'm going to click a supply because people use cliparts, for like printing t-shirts, so it is a supply, it's not a finished product. When was it made? This one is it's not confusing actually, but made to order basically is customized, I think. And then what you always want to click is 2020 to 2025 because this is recent. So 2020 to 2025. And how is this digital content created? Made with an AI generator because I didn't draw it. It's not gonna affect though, like how your listings would appear if they were made with the help of AI. This is just so Etsy knows like how was it made. So after that, you click save and continue. And now this is the page where you need to come up with the title, create a listing photo, the digital files, the description. Okay, for example, since I already have a product with me, it is a pink bow clip art. I'm not really gonna go through so much into details when it comes to like how to add titles, because I already talked about how I use ChatGPT to help me title my product and create a description for it. Just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna just put in as some type of a title. I would say pink bow clip art for party invitation in actually no, not and pink bow clip art for coquette bow illustration, something like that. Then after I've added my title, I'm going to add my photos and video. I'm only just gonna add photos. So these are just some of the things that I kind of came up with. And then after that, this part here, it depends on how many products you are or how many digital files you have. You can only add up to 5 files here. And so with things like a pack of 10 clip arts or a pack of 20 clip arts, they would have to be uploaded to a cloud storage, and then you would just provide a PDF that would have the link to that storage where people can download them. And that's what I do when I have clip arts that go over 4 clip arts or 4 files. For this one, since I only have one, I'm only gonna drag and drop the file here. So this is the pink bow PNG, and I would just wait for that to load just to make sure that it is loaded. Now when it comes to, I usually have a terms of use for my clip art. I would also include that here, but for the sake of this example, I'm not going to do that. So for description, let's just say, again, I don't want to, I'm just really showing you the things that you're going to expect when you open your Etsy shop. So let's just say pink bow clip art. For price, so you set your price. I'm going to say $1, $1 Canadian dollar, not 100. Here we go. For quantity, people usually use 999. I don't do that. I just really put like say 50 or even 100. And then down here is craft type. So basically these are already pre-selected when you chose your category, before you even uploaded before we even got to this page. If you remember the first page before this where you have to select your category. So I just select all of it. So this one you can choose to select a primary color. I don't really select anything from here. When I upload my clip art, I just really skip them. And then of course you never forget about your tags. So let's say you get up to 13 tags and each should be 20 characters or less. So let's say a pink bow clip art, pink bow PNG, pink bow coquette, okay. Pink bow sticker, pink bow image, and so on and so forth. You know, it's really up to you. You can use all of that 13 tags. I would suggest so that you would use all the 13 tags because it can really help with SEO too. After that, this one you can skip this one skip. See, this is the category here. Okay, so I just noticed that I missed talking about delivery and returns and exchanges. So for delivery, this is what it will always look like if you sell digital products, or as long as you chosen digital files on the page before this page. So it says here, buyers will download your uploaded files immediately after purchase because we are not shipping physical items. Now for returns and exchanges, it says here, digital items aren't eligible for returns or exchanges on Etsy because of the nature of these items. While it's not possible to edit this policy, when a buyer reaches out, you're still free to resolve it as you see fit. Most of the digital product sellers don't offer returns and exchanges, even refunds. I don't as well, because once the transaction goes through, they will immediately get the download link to download the product. Even if the customer says that they did not download it or they didn't open the link, still they already got an access to that product. But I've also heard and seen, actually, when I was in that Facebook group, some sellers do returns and exchanges because the customer was nice or that the customer made a mistake and they felt bad not to do anything about it, so they would do a return or exchange. But at the end of the day, it is really up to you as a seller. And then here you can add a section, or you can just leave it like that. So let's say I'm going to add a section. Let's say this cute clip arts. Save, and it will be listed under cute clip arts section. So this one feature this listing. This is basically going to be like the top 4. So when you visit someone's shop and you see those top 4 images, so if you click on it, it will be turned on and this listing would be on there. Renewal options. You can choose to automatically renew your listings once it expires, or manually renew the listings. There's no right or wrong of doing this, but for me, I have been automatically renewing my listing, except those listings that I can totally see that, you know, they're not worth it to renew, and just deactivate it. So yeah, it's really up to you if you want to automatically renew a listing or manually renew a listing. For this one, let's just say I want to manually renew the listing. After that, I can just save and continue. Okay, it says, great job on your first listing. You're one step closer to your first sale. Consider adding a few more listings. 5 is a good start. This gives buyer more chances to find your shop. I'll do this later because I've only prepared 1. So let's just say do this later. Now, how you'll get paid. So here, this is gonna get a little more personal, but I'm gonna try and go through this part as much as I can. So it says here, where is your bank located? Of course, Canada. For tax purposes, what type of seller are you? Whether you are individual or incorporated. I'm gonna do individual. Now tell us a bit about yourself. For compliance purposes, we may verify your identity with a secure third-party service. This information will never be displayed publicly on Etsy. If you actually scroll down after you've entered your phone number, you're gonna have to enter your bank name. I've already entered my bank information, and after I clicked continue, I was taken to this page that says verify your identity in just a few steps. First is to take a photo of your ID, pose for a selfie, and then finish setting up your shop. But this is where I'm gonna leave it, because if I followed these instructions, I'm gonna end up with a new shop, which is not my intention. Basically, follow the steps and you should be on your way to opening your Etsy shop. Just a couple of things that I want you to know though. This is not a warning, or should this be a warning? I don't know, but when I was part of that Facebook group, there were people there that apparently got to this part, but after verifying their information, they were denied or suspended for some reason, and some of them tried to appeal. Etsy were able to resolve that, and they were able to open an Etsy shop. Some people were not able to appeal. I don't know why Etsy does that. And that is it. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments below if you want me to create a specific type of video. I will try to accommodate that. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye!